Hello, everybody. It's me. Hello, everybody. It's me again. It's Russell Mills. December 3rd, 2018. Almost the end of the year, man. Almost going into 2019. And I just wanted to make a video. This is about, George Bush Sr., George H.W. Bush. Um, he actually died on November 30th, 2018. So I'm just going to read out of the newspaper that I bought some of the things. From Navy to politics, Bush served USA. It says family leaders extol 41st president. Leaders around the world are mourning the death of George H.W. Bush, a war hero, the patriarchy of an American political dynasty, and the nation's 41st president who oversaw the end of the Cold War um, and disputed the value of service with 1,000 points of life. There is no higher honor than this to serve the free man and the woman. No greater privilege than to labor in government beneath the great seal of the United States and the American flag. Bush told senior staffers in 1989. This is days after he took office. This is Bush died shortly after 10 p.m. Friday at his home in Houston, according to a statement from the family spokesman. The longest living president in American history, he used a wheelchair in recent years after being diagnosed with the form of Parkinson's disease. He was a man of the highest character. His son, former President George W. Bush, entire Bush family is deeply grateful for 41st lives and love for the compassion of those who have cared and prayed for Dad. This is though most well known for his Texas ties. Bush's presidential library is at Texas A&M University. Bush spent his early life in Massachusetts. That's where I live, in Massachusetts. And famously spent many summers at the summer home in Kennebunk, Maine. It says Bush was born in Milton and attended Phillips Academy in Andover. He then joined the Navy, flying 58 missions of carrier USS San, I can't even say this word, Jacinto, I believe. He was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for bravery. Bush's plane was shot down on September 2nd, 1944, while completing a bombing run against the Japanese radio tower. This is leading up to a single term as president. Bush made the rounds of government service, serving as a congressman and ambassador to the United Nations, an envoy to China, chairman of the Republican National Committee, director of the CIA, two-term vice president, and finally president. It says during his term, the Cold War came to an end. This is culmination of years of diplomatic efforts by Ronald Reagan and others. It was a time of great change, demanding great responsibility from someone. It says from everyone. The result was the end of the Cold War and the nuclear arms race. So, this is as president, Bush sought to make the United States a kinder, gentle nation and called on Americans to volunteer their time for good causes, an effort he said would create 1,000 points of light. It says in retirement, Bush continued to emphasize kindness of understanding, at one point shaving his head in solidarity with the son of a member of a security detail who was battling leukemia. Says he was in fact the first American president that I was privileged to meet. I recall being deeply touched by your father's concerns. The Tibetan people, the Tibetan, I can't even say it, but I guess people from Tibet, this is Tibet. It is truly admirable to have lived over 94 years. Dalai Lama, So, spiritual leader of the statement directed to Bush's children. While nothing can replace the loss of a father, we can rejoice in the fact that he was meaningfully life dedicated to public service. I commend your parents for encouraging their children, including you, my dear friend, to devote yourself to the service of others. This is in later years, Bush piloted his speedboat plane, played tennis and golf on the 72nd, 80th, and 85th and 90th birthday. He reprised his World War II parachute jump. I'm just going to read a quick thing about Bush's life and times. Significant dates in the life of former President George H.W. Bush. June 12, 1924, George Herbert Walker Bush is born in Milton. June 12, 1942, enlists in the Navy on his 18th birthday. September 2nd, 1944, plane is shot down in Pacific Ocean and 2 crewmates killed. Bush is rescued by a submarine and receives the Distinguished Flying Cross. January 6, 1945, marries Barbara Pierce, daughter of the publisher of McCall's magazine. The Bushes eventually have 6 children. 1948, the family moves to Texas where Bush prospers in oil business. November 1966, wins seat in House of Representatives. 1971, appointed UN ambassador by the President Richard Nixon. 1975, named chief of CIA. 1980, chosen by Ronald Reagan as his running mate. Reagan-Bush ticket defeats President Jimmy Carter and Vice President Walter Mondale. November 8th, 1988, defeats Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis, becoming the first sitting vice president to win the presidency since 1836. July 26, 1990, it says, signs Landmark Americans with Disability Act. August 7, 1990, orders deployment of the U.S. troops to Persian Gulf. January 17, 1991, air wars against Iraq begins. February 25, 1991, Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein orders forces to withdraw from Kuwait. February 27, 1991, White House suspends offense combat operation. 4 days later, Iraq military accepts UN Security Council strict terms for formal ceasefire. November 3rd, 1992, loses bid for re-election to Bill Clinton. And January 20th, 2001, sees son George W. sworn in as president, becoming the only former president in history to see his son sworn into the same office. John Adams, then nearly 90, did not attend inaugural when son John Quincy Adams became president in 1825. February 2005, travels with former President Clinton to areas devastated by December 2004 Asian tsunami. They team up again to raise funds for Hurricane Katrina relief. February 15, 2011, receives the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilization honor for contributing to society. And on the final day, November 30th, 2018, George H.W. Bush dies in Houston home. He was 94. So I said, just rest in peace to this man and his family. But that's basically it. But I just wanted to say, I'm not really into politics like that, so I'm not trying to, what I mean? But I just wanted to let people know if, because everybody could check it out on the internet, but feel free to check out my YouTube channel. Type in Russell Mills, RUSSELLMILLS, May 22nd, 2017, when my first video was called Why Black People Settle for Less. Feel free to subscribe, spread the word, I'm saying? I'm trying to make better videos. Everybody take care. God bless. Bye.